Hello everyone. You're welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Ijoma, your jovial lawyer in the house. Yes, so today we're going to be discussing the importance of the hire purchase agreement. So what's a hire purchase agreement? A hire purchase agreement or a hire purchase contract form. Let's define what a hire purchase contract is first. Then we'll talk about the agreement because the agreement is the paperwork, okay? So a hire purchase contract is a contract that allows or permits the owner of a property to transfer possession to the hirer, okay, and permits the hirer to pay in installments. Do you understand? So, for example, you want to purchase a property and you do not have that lump sum to buy that property. You now go into an agreement with the owner of the product or the property, whereby the owner of the property permits you to be in possession or to hold possession of that property. Let's take for example a bus or a car. Okay, so the owner permits you to go with the bus or the car. You will be in possession, but ownership has not yet been transferred to you yet because you are permitted to pay in installments, and ownership will be transferred to you, the buyer, only when you have finished paying all the money you're supposed to pay. For example, you can enter into a contract and the person says you'll be paying me 20,000 naira every week. Most times this kind of agreement is entered into by drivers and the owner of a bus. Okay, so for example, you want to go into transportation business and you do not have the money to buy a bus, so you now go and enter into a contract with someone that owns a bus and it's ready to give you his bus, and you'll be paying instrumentally. Let's say every week you are allowed to pay 20,000 naira or 50,000 naira. It all depends on what you agree with the owner. So in that wise, for you've gained a lot because ordinarily you don't have the money to buy the bus, but this person now has given you his bus and say, okay, you'll be using my bus, and at the end of the maybe for 1 year or 1 year and 6 months or 2 years, for the duration of the contract, you'll be paying in installments until you have paid the total sum. So it's very important, it's very beneficial for both the buyer and the seller or the hirer, okay, because the buyer on his own, the seller on his own will make more money from you. He's going to make gain from you by the time he gives you that bus, and then you are paying in installments. Then you yourself, that you are the hirer, you have the advantage of getting a bus and you're using it and you're working and you are paying in installments. Okay, ordinarily you would have been able to purchase one, but now you are an advantage, you have an advantage of using a bus until you are able to pay all the money. Okay, so it's very important that when you go into this kind of contract, you contact a lawyer to draft a hire purchase agreement for you. Hire purchase agreement is the paperwork. It's just the document that involves the hire purchase contracts. So in that document, all the terms of the contract will be stated there, and these hire purchase agreements must be written and signed by the parties. Sometimes in a hire purchase agreement, a guarantor is also needed, okay, because this person that is giving you the bus, he may not know you from Adam. What if you decide to run away with his boss? So sometimes he may require that you get a guarantor. A guarantor is someone that will stand in your place, in the place of the hirer, in your place. So he will sign that if there is anything that happens tomorrow and you're not able to pay, or you decide to run away with the boss, he will be the one to pay back to the owner of the boss. Okay, so most times it's very important that you get a lawyer to draft a hire purchase agreement. So many people feel that they don't need a lawyer to draft a hire purchase agreement for them. They just go in, maybe they'll just go and get a template from the internet and then draft it and then just copy and paste and say that's a hire purchase agreement. But it doesn't work that way, because most of the time you run into risk and you can run into trouble when you do that. Because for example, that template that you've taken from the internet may be outdated. You know that one thing that is constant is change. So our laws change. We are living in a society where there are so many changes to our laws. You might be using a contract template that is outdated, and the laws that they use, and you don't know, because you may not be in a position to understand what is there. And another thing is that there are so many legal jargons that may be very, very difficult for you to be able to interpret. But by the time you get a lawyer to draft one for you, the lawyer will be in a very good position to explain the terms of the contract. And another importance of getting a lawyer to draft a hire purchase agreement for you is that if there is any breach of the contract, breach of contract now means, for example, if one of the parties fails to do what he's supposed to do, that means he has breached the contract. If there is a breach of contract like that, it is the lawyer that will be in the best position to execute the contract, because he drafted the contract. So he will be in a best position to go to court or go to arbitration. You understand? So arbitration, when I say arbitration, I mean it's not everything that must end up in court. Okay, there are other civil ways of settling disputes. Okay, so arbitration is one of such methods. So if there's any breach of contract, that lawyer will be in a better position to be able to execute it. And again, is the lawyer that drafted the contract. So the lawyer will draft it in such a way that it will not injure or cause any kind of harm or risk to you that employed him to draft it. Okay, so he will draft it in such a way that it will protect you, it will protect your interests. Okay, so it's very, very important that you get a lawyer. So many people feel, well, what's the point of getting a lawyer to draft a hire purchase agreement? It's going to cost me money. But at the end of the day, you find out that you end up spending more money, because you spend more when you try to untangle a poorly written contract or a non-existent contract. You will spend more money. It's always cheaper, because that money you're trying to save by getting a lawyer to draft a hire purchase agreement, you end up spending even more than that if the lawyer doesn't draft it, and then you run into trouble. Okay, so there was something that happened to someone that I know. That's the reason why I even decided to do this video in the first place. So this lady, her husband is a driver, and he has been looking for how to get a bus to start this transportation business. So he saw someone, and he entered into a contract with the owner of a bus, where they entered into a hire purchase agreement. But he didn't contact a lawyer to draft a hire purchase agreement for him. So I think it was the owner of the bus that just gave him something to sign. He said it was a hire purchase agreement, and this man went ahead to sign without even reading what is there. Okay, he didn't get the lawyer to interpret the terms of the contract to him. He went ahead to sign it, and the man now was supposed to pay the owner of the bus about 4.5 million naira at the end of the contract term, and he was supposed to be paying 20,000 naira. He's supposed to be remitting 20,000 naira to him every week as he uses the bus. As time went on, he had paid like 3 point something million naira. The owner of the bus started trouble. He started taking him from one police station to another police station, dragging this man here and there, telling him that he wants to collect his bus back. The man said, but I have been paying, and I've not in any way defaulted. I just have 1 million naira plus to complete it. He said he kept dragging him from one police station, and this one has been paying money, because each police station he goes to, he will pay money and all of that. So this lady now called me on the phone and was telling me, "Barrister, what do I do? This is what my husband is going through." When she said that, I said, okay, when your husband wanted to enter into this hire purchase agreement, did he get a lawyer to draft a contract for him? She said no. And I said, but why? I'm here. Even if you don't want to call me, there are other lawyers around your area, okay? Because she's in another state. Why didn't you contact a lawyer to draft this hire purchase agreement for him? Why? To protect your interest. So I said, telling her the importance of getting a lawyer to draft a hire purchase agreement. That's when she said, that she didn't know all this. Her husband is not even aware of all these things. He just felt it was something that they will just go into and all that. You know, some people even do this, and they do go into this kind of contract orally. And you know that an oral contract is very difficult to execute. So it's very important. So I told her, you see the problem that you have gone into now. If you had contacted a lawyer in the first place, it would have saved you all this. Even if you know how much money these people spent. They spent so much money, but at the end of the day, I told her what to do on how to handle it, and at the end of the day, it worked. Okay, so it's very, very important that you get a lawyer to draft a hire purchase agreement for. Another importance of it is that they incorporate the latest legislations. Like I said, laws are changing, so the lawyer will incorporate the latest legislation in it. And remember that a hire purchase agreement is not a contract of sale. So there are so many importance of getting a lawyer to draft a hire purchase agreement. The lawyer will close every loophole and protect you. Okay, so if you want to go into a hire purchase agreement with someone, contact a lawyer to draft a hire purchase agreement for you. Okay, that money you're trying to save that you don't want to contact a lawyer and pay lawyer to do, you will end up spending more than ×5 if I tell you how much this man and his wife spends because of this. So it's very important. So please do not make this kind of mistake. If you want to go into that kind of agreement or any agreement at all, get a lawyer to advise you, to prepare a contract. And even if another lawyer has prepared a contract for you, get a lawyer to review it so that he will protect your interest. Look at the terms of the contract so that you don't make a mistake, okay, by running into trouble. So it won't lead to disputes tomorrow and you start paying a lot of money. Okay, so that's all I have for you today, and until I see you all next time, have a good day, and please do well to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Like this video, give it a big thumbs up. When you subscribe to my YouTube channel, you will get notifications whenever I drop a video, and it is free, absolutely free. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and God will bless you. Thank you very much. Please share my videos, encourage your friends to watch, and also share my videos and subscribe as well till I come your way next time. I'm your jovial lawyer. Do well to have a nice day. Enjoy yourself. Bye.